Go ahead.
Hello, Internet. I'm Dan.
And I'm Chaz.
And I'm Matt.
And this is Wine is Serious Business, episode 257.
7.
It was last week, so it's 258 this week. Pretty close. Especially for you, who doesn't follow the whole
Should have bet on it.
Yeah, I'm impressed. We're here today with 3 more blind wines, just kind of out of the blue today. This is mostly thanks to Glenn Beanstalk, by the way, 2 episodes in a row commenting, said his favorite wines are Pinot and Riesling. I was going to go to some samples this week, actually, that aren't either one of those, but thanks to your comment, we're going to do Oregon Pinot again today.
Well, not Oregon Pinot. This is Pinot Noir. So this is a
wine
wine show.
Still Pinot Noir.
These are all 2012 Pinot Noir wines from who knows where.
Who knows? It's a mystery.
So that's pretty much the show. I picked something up a while back that I wanted to do on the show, and a little more. And so when the opportunity arose, like Dan and I were kind of talking, saying, "Oh, the 2012s are all around right now. All the high-end 2012s are out on the market. We should try and step into those." And so the price point here is roughly $35 to $40.
Kind of a sweet spot for us. I think that's like when I go to drink a nice bottle of Pinot Noir, that's generally the price point where I'm, feeling good, feeling pretty excited about what I got. So,
right. Yeah. And so that price point really opens up a lot of other regions in the world, right? And that was the most important thing, was to I went to a couple of wine shops, checked out their inventory, and came up with these 3 wines. So we'll see how they taste.
Well, this is already like punching as shit.
This jumps out of glass.
Like I was smelling that as we were switching, I was like, man, it smells like perp.
Oh, yes. That's the sort of statement that makes me look like a real dummy in 20 minutes when we take these off.
Man.
Yeah, that's some perp.
Fruity, yeah. Hibiscus all over the place. Yeah.
Candy, little ethanol on the nose too, like a little hot.
So that's one thing I will say about these wines is all of them are between 13.6 and 13.9 alcohol.
Okay.
I tried to hit under 14.
Sure. Right. But no
outliers.
Or whatever here. Yeah.
Definitely hot on the nose though.
But man,
a little bit of candy grape here too.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yep. But it's almost something a touch herbal. Would you say?
Sure.
Like grassy.
Yeah, dried herbs. I really can't even pinpoint where I'd be going with that, but it's like it reminds me there's some earthy characteristics to it, but really the strong fruit characteristics are what's jumping out of the glass.
Purple herbs.
Yeah, maybe a little lavender. Yeah.
That's big wine. Oh boy.
Wow. Some straight up tannins all up in there. It's tight.
This is
not too grippy though. It's not really. Is it like really sinking in?
It's just like hitting the front of my tongue, just like wrapping.
It's pretty dry
around it. Yeah.
I wouldn't. It doesn't really wrap onto the tongue for me. It's like more in the gums and the cheeks, really kind of squeeze in. Mm-hmm. But man, just jammy fruit right from the get go.
Yeah.
Right, like really, really fruity, like almost like cherry pie level.
Yeah. When it's like, I guess, like, when I think of Pinot, I always think of Burgundy and Oregon, because that's like all I drink. And those typically aren't as like, destroy your tongue. They're a little more
This
delicate.
doesn't destroy your tongue.
No, I mean, that's a very...
Right now we got 3
for sure.
things on here, yeah.
So that's an overstatement, but like for a Pinot, I think it's definitely on like the more intense side, for sure.
It is, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, this is... and I think you're going to experience that in 2012 almost everywhere,
Yeah,
right? Like, it was kind of a warmer year. It was a real, I wouldn't say... a lot of the wines were in the high 13s, mid to high 13s. So some of the wines can be a little hot. This is a touch. You can kind of get that sort of.
And I can feel the weight on it, and I think that, and like some of the like little bit of the oak in there, you can feel that there's a smooth character on the center of the palate. Like it feels really round and kind of like silky to me. Not super silky. I wouldn't use the word elegant to describe it.
But there's a nice feel.
Yeah, it does have good, like kind of richness to it.
Yeah, that's a good descriptor.
It's and on the second smell too. It's like after you take a sip, it's definitely a little painty when you smell it.
Painty?
Yeah, like a little bit of a paint vibe when you smell. Not like offensive paint, but like just a little bit of that slight like
a light amount of it.
Yeah, a light amount of it.
The more I'm sipping it, the dust, the tannins are sort of a dusty feel. They're actually very, you call these like polished tannins. Like they're sort of round. There's no abrasion or like roughness inside the mouth. The feel is really nice. There is a bit of alcohol. It kind of sneaks up in the back end. But overall, the fruit characteristics are really good. It's really rich. There is some oak that shows through. Needs a little more time, honestly, in my opinion.
I think so.
Yeah.
But these have been open for a while. So typically we do the show, we just pop and pour these. These have been open for about an hour. So
Yeah, very good.
So this would be like, I wish we would have brought paper. Probably like an 88-point wine to me. Like, with hopeful upward potential. Like, there's obvious polish, obviously a well-built wine, but it just needs to kind of come together a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost textbook 88 for me. There's some good flavors. I really like the texture. There's a little bit of evolution, but I don't think it's not integrated terribly well yet, and the fruit seems a little unusual to me. I'm still gonna guess this isn't Oregon.
Oh, yeah, we gotta guess on what these are.
Just based on the fruit, I'm not as like heavy set on it as I was in the beginning, but the flavors don't seem like other wines I'm used to.
That's one thing I should say is that these are single blend for me. Like I bought these wines. These guys have no idea what they are.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna save my decisions till the end.
Cool.
What do you think it is?
Cool. I'm gonna guess Cali just because I'm stuck. So we're not sure if these are from Oregon or France or California. I don't know if there's anything super weird going on here.
Alright, so this is the second one.
Second wine number 2.
Wine number 2.
This is perfect.
That smells like Oregon.
Yeah, that's
just
like
that,
it's
right
like
out of the gate.
straight Dundee up in that nose.
That does smell
I'm with
just
you
like-
on violets.
This does just smell just like Oregon.
I know Dundee, like, anywhere, and, you know, every time I've said this before, I was always wrong, but it's definitely, it smells like
Blackberries, dry earth.
Just stank.
Dirt.
Stanky elk and dirt.
Yeah.
Elk.
Yeah.
Smells like some damp earth. Smells herbal, floral, and just a wonderful fruit profile on this one. Like this one smells like dark black cherries, a little strawberry. Like it's.
This is some shit.
It smells awesome.
This is my dog.
Yeah, dogs.
Oh, wet dog, little wet dog.
Yeah, little wet dog.
Talk about
That must have been the elk that we smelled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the dog's name?
Rolly.
Rolly.
Yeah.
Oh man, on the palate.
Yeah, that shit's on point. Just
So
like,
this is when 2012 is good, and I'm really glad that I picked this wine out. I think I know what I would agree. I think it's
Oh man.
right. This is just delicious.
that's amazing. I think I
This is so good.
probably know what the wine is too.
This is showing so well
Really?
right now.
Ooh, I want you to write that
I'm
down.
gonna write it down.
Okay.
So we talked about dusty tannins with the last one. This also has it going on. This has a great sense of elegance here.
Yeah.
You really just like feel it wash across the tongue. Flavors, kind of both bright and dark flavors going on. Very balanced, very integrated already. Really impressive.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, 'cause it's just like, while the other one, I know you mentioned that they were like 13.5-ish on the alcohol. The other one, you could definitely sense that. This one, it's like it's not even there.
Right.
It just like goes straight down, and it's just like, it's beautiful. This is perfection.
Great structure on this. Like awesome acid. The tannins are in a really nice place. It's super drinkable, but they've got good grip still. So wouldn't be afraid to age this. But at the same time, like this is drinking so well right now. Right.
It does have this really interesting like incensey smell too.
Totally. Yeah.
Which is awesome.
The nose is very complex, and wine is very complex. This is
cherries, cranberries, herbal.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, and the most expensive wine on the table, how much does that cost?
the most expensive wine on the table was $39.
Man, which this is value at that price point. Oh man, this is good. It sticks around for a long time too.
So this is like a 91 to 92 point wine for me. Like this is something that's exceptional. I will probably seek out once we pull the bottles to go buy a few more of these because this is a really graceful, a really, like Dan said, elegant 2012.
Straight up. I'm gonna go 92 as well. It's Oregon. It's Dundee. Again, I could be wrong. But
I'm also gonna go 92.
glug.
Yep. All right, so last wine of the bunch.
Man, that's just ready. There's a lot going on.
Whoa. That's the little sample is a little different too.
It gives you a little sense of what the future holds.
I think I think this guy benefited from being behind this.
Yes.
And this guy's got tough.
Yeah.
He's in a tough spot, but maybe we'll drink 2 of these and see how. Yeah.
It's true. But that's wine. So good wine tasting.
That smells awesome too. Pardon my French. And maybe it is French.
Yeah. So this is distinctly floral and red fruit. Not so rich, just like really nice freshness.
Yeah.
Not so funky either.
Definitely.
A little more mineral, right?
Yeah.
Or like just like sour cherries.
Yeah. this smells really nice. Definitely not as complex as the last wine. The last wine really was just all over the place as far as complex, like really good flavors all over the place. This is just pretty straightforward, but what it is providing is really nice.
That mineral is crazy. It's almost got like a little bit of like a Loire vibe to it. Like slight, even though it's definitely not, but it's got a whole Loire thing going on with that like slatiness that comes through.
Good answer. I don't know enough about Loire to have an opinion.
I don't know anything about Loire.
I know some of you do.
This is nice. A little hot on the finish.
Yeah, definitely a little hot, but like,
Yeah.
and it's a little tight up front, but then it just like mellows out quite a bit, and then it like ends just slightly hot. But I mean, it's drinking damn good now.
Good richness. The fruit was a little more fresh in the nose. Here it's a little richer, like strawberries and cherries again. The tannins are definitely like on the lighter side compared to the last two. Like this is a little more just like fruity and like blanketing the tongue and like the weight and with very little grip.
Yep.
The acid is on the low side as well. Would you agree?
I would agree there. Yeah. It's definitely like a really light touch to all the fruit and the acidity and everything.
Yeah.
I do feel the tannins sinking into my tongue a little bit more. They're really not rough, but I feel like there's a little more of that,
Grabs.
a little more grip on this than either of the other two. But not to say that it's heavy. I wouldn't call it heavy.
And it's just like right on the tip of your tongue too. It's not like too like the first one I felt like was super tannic just all over the place.
Right.
This one is just like just the tip. Second time saying it. Yeah, this is rad actually. I like it a lot.
I'm really glad that all three of these wines showed because they're all cool wines.
Yeah.
I was really pumped by the show and like put them all together. So this is like 89, 90 points for me. Like it could do with a little more complexity to push it into the like really exceptional range, like where you call it extraordinary or whatever on the Parker scale, if that's what we're using. But really nice Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
So yeah.
To me, a little less excitement. I'm getting a little more like stemmy flavors along with the fruit. I think the fruit's really good, a little strawberry, but it doesn't get me as excited. That said, it's a little more austere, and I know a lot of people I hang out with like that. Definitely a little further away from the fruity side of the spectrum. While interesting, it's not doing it for me quite as much. So 89, just into 89 for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 89 as well. It's super approachable. That's the cool thing about it. It's just like it's super easy to drink. Like I could probably just chug this whole bottle right now because it's just so easy. The other one,
this is a very easy drinker.
Yeah.
So for the reveal, so the only one I'm going to go with, like say on my initial thing is, well, I guess right now I can talk about it because I know what these are, or at least I think I do. Let's pull the center one since we're all agreeing this is orange.
Got it. I'd be shocked if it's not.
It's gonna be big.
It very well could not be.
I know. I was thinking of what's an embarrassing bet.
Oh, it's Oregon.
For the next
all right.
show. Okay.
It's Oregon, but it's not Dundee. It is J. Christopher.
That makes me
2012
so happy.
Viola Amity, Lumiere.
That's great.
I am super pumped this wine show.
Unfiltered.
I really like J. Christopher's wines. We've had them in the past. Didn't show on the show, and this wine is killing it.
And my experience with them, even I've always enjoyed them, but I've never had I know a ton of people that love his wines. He's a cool guy. Like, you try them, and I'm like, yeah, they're nice. This is the first time I've really been like,
this is killer.
This has the magic. Go out and buy this wine. Like, I can't recommend it at that price
36.
point. Boy, that's a score.
36 to 40, right? Like depending on your seller.
This is. I am happy when I get this. Like I buy $60 bottles that have this quality level, and I'm happy with the purchase. So
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one, we'll do the second one. What did you guys think this was, or the third one? What did you guys think this was?
Since they could be from anywhere, I'm gonna assume there is a Burgundy here. That's the one I'd have to go with.
So I thought France originally, and it's just really good, but it had this that mineral thing that was coming through, and that is something that's not characteristic of Burgundy to me.
Right.
And so I was trying to rack my mind of what other Pinot Noir places would have that same quality, and I guess Germany. And that's a stretch.
Sure.
But it's
a little less ripe. I get it.
12 was a warm year there too. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not Germany. It is also Oregon, but it's Umpqua Valley.
Oh.
So this is the Reustle 2012 Pinot Noir Winemaker's Reserve. So
good show.
Yeah, that was drinking real good.
Good show.
Drinking really well. I'm really glad those guys. So Reustle is a producer down right near Roseburg, Oregon. I'm originally from Roseburg, Oregon, so it's really great when I get to go around there and taste, and we find something really special. And I didn't get to pre-taste this wine. I literally bought it just thinking like, it was a good year. They were super excited to sell it to me, and so I was hoping it would turn out like well in the show, and it did. So
The label's smooth like the wine.
And I would never guess that this came from a region that's like Southern Oregon is known for being hot, right? Growing right Tempranillo, Syrah, Grenache, and stuff down there. This doesn't taste like hot Pinot Noir,
Not
right?
at all.
Like a hot year Pinot Noir. So this is pretty impressive.
really
Yeah,
popped.
it's really
Yeah.
nice.
So killer wine, and then the last wine, the first wine of the show. I should honestly say, like, I really like this wine. Like, it's got
Sure.
good characteristics. This is, I think, Washington,
Cool.
and it's the Analemma, Columbia Gorge. It's a
Sure.
single vineyard wine.
Huh.
It's the Oak Ridge Vineyard 2012 Pinot Noir from Analemma.
Interesting.
From a hotter vineyard, right? So we talked. We had the Gewürztraminer on the show recently. We talked about their vineyard way up at 1,700 feet. This is not it. This is fruit from a lower place that gets, you know. I think their Pinot Noir there stays just barely ripe. They make rosé and sparkling wine out of it, and they purchase. I think they purchased this fruit. Oak Ridge Vineyard probably.
Yeah.
And both of you guys said California for this,
Yeah.
and I would honestly agree. It sort of provided that like richness. The oak usage was like right on par, and like with what I've experienced from some California producers, the tans were like very dusty but very full. Yeah, it's a well built, delicious wine. Just needs some, I think, more time.
No love.
And I don't know if any of us have much experience with Washington Pinot Noir. I mean, I know they make it, but like that in California is about the same. Like we're really kind of stuck in our niche in Oregon.
Yeah.
So in the foothills of Mount Adams.
Yeah.
Mount Adams is Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't look at the map to see where this
That's
vineyard
all right.
was, so I wasn't sure if it was on the Oregon side or the Washington side. So
I'm pretty sure. Pretty.
Adams is definitely on the Washington side.
No. Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. So and Brooks also makes the Gewürztraminer from the Oak Ridge Vineyard. So that's where I've heard of it before. Bad for a while. Makes some nice fruit going to cool producers.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our show. As with any show where we have a guest, Matt gets to ask the question of the day.
Yes. So it has come to my attention that Chas had a really rough run today. His nipples were a little hard, and he started chafing a bit. And I've had
You
this
saw
problem.
my nipple chafe?
Yeah,
That's painful.
I've had this problem myself, and it sometimes causes some blood to occur, especially when you're wearing a white shirt. So my question is, what is the worst sports injury you've ever had?
Oh,
For me, it's bloody nipples, but
you've had some real bad ones. I used to live with Matt, and so he had some real bad ones.
yeah. If you guys remember the old, of course, KitchenAid mixer days.
Yeah.
So,
I sprained my ankle real bad in football once. I had it pointing straight down and got pushed back on top of it, bent all the way back. That took me out for a while.
Yeah. The worst for me is snowboarding. It's the reason I quit snowboarding.
Yeah.
Was because I one of those guys that was really good at one point and then let it go for a few years, came back to it, and then would drink during lunch and think that he could go just as fast down everything as he used to. And one time I sprained my ankle, I broke a rib, and I knocked myself out all in one crash. Lost my goggles, my beanie, and both of my gloves flipping end over end. That's how fast I was going.
crazy.
That's pretty
And
good.
yeah.
You also knocked yourself out playing Mario Kart once, didn't you? Or was it-
No, that was Gran Turismo 3.
Okay. So there's a threshold for that.
yes.
Lower, but tell us about sports injuries. Everybody's got stories there.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye.